Everybody, let's take a moment, look at the disclaimer. This content is for educational, informational, entertainment purposes only, and nothing should be taken as a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any securities at any time. We are just here to spread the word of how BTA analyzes the markets. This is Rod from BTA, and we are known as the middle traders. We are not going to get in at the exact bottom, and we're not going to get out at the exact top. But we will make the stock market masters. And sometimes it seems like we can see the future. Okay, today we're going to discuss something very interesting I noticed with the Fibonacci retracements. So as you can see right here, this is a weekly chart of the Dow Jones. And I have the Fibonacci retracements on here going back from the March 2020 lows from the Corona collapse to the recent high, okay, back in November of last year. So I put the Fibonacci on here from the March lows of 2020 to the highs. And as you can see, the Dow Jones, it got just below, well, it almost made it down to the 38.2 level, but it broke below the 23.6 level right here. And it almost made it down to the 38. It hasn't made it there. And it kind of, right now, we had a pretty much we're starting off, look like it's going to be an inside week for this week. But we have to see how it plays out. Because this is a weekly chart, right? So the week is not complete yet. You see that little green bar? The week is not complete yet. So, but it's something very interesting about this that I'm going to show you later that relates to the daily chart, because we're looking at a weekly chart right now. So just remember, we got just a little bit below the 23%. We almost made the 38%, but it's very something interesting when we look at Fibonacci's on the daily chart with the weekly. Now here is a weekly chart of the Standard & Poor's 500. All right, with the same Fibonacci extensions on there, going back from the March of 2020, the low of the Corona collapse, to the highest high, okay, back in November last year, the same thing. And notice that the Standard & Poor's 500 on the weekly chart made it down to the 38.2% retracement. So in other words, it retraced from this low to this high. It retraced this move back. It took back 38.2% of this move. Almost to the penny, y'all. Almost to the penny. And now we look like we might be forming an inside week right here with this little green bar. Now, and it's something interesting, like I said, about this that we're going to look at on the daily chart. But now let's go and look at the Nasdaq, okay? So here's the Nasdaq, the same thing, okay? We have March 2020 lows to the highest high. And look, y'all, we got almost stopped to the T at the 50% retracement. And remember, the 50% retracement rule is the rule that can make you rich. Most of the time, if a stock get past the 38.2 level, it'll get down to the 50% retracement and bounce. That's why they call it the 50% retracement move that can make you rich. And if a stock is coming from the bottom, it'll rally up to the 50% retracement and then fall back apart. Okay, that's why they call it that. All right, but we broke through it just a little bit, and now in this week here, we still trading below it just a little bit. But I thought we was going to get down into here. I thought we were going to retrace this move all the way down to below the 61% retracement and down in the 76% retracement. And that's pretty much called the golden pocket. Between the 68 and the 76, that's called the golden pocket. Okay, I thought we were going to come back down into the golden pocket because that March 2020 high is right here. If you draw a line right across this fractal, it's right there. Okay. So I thought we was going to make it down to there. But it looks like it wants to consolidate and find some, it's trying to base right around the 50% retracement. But what I wanted to show you that's very important. Retracement on the Dow Jones right here. Well, not the 50% retracement. It came down to just below the 23% retracement and never made it really to the 38%. But now let's go to the Fibonacci where I drew an extension. Okay, I drew a Fibonacci extension here. This is a Fibonacci extension. Okay, I went from the highest high, okay, going back in 2020, the high, came down to the low, back up to the next highest high. And then the Fibonacci extension is going to draw out the extension levels. But what's interesting, you see the Dow Jones stopped on the regular Fibonacci on the weekly chart. The Fibonacci retracement is stopped in between the 26 and the 38.2% level on the retracement. But look where it stopped on the daily chart, y'all, with the Fibonacci extension. Let me expand this a little bit so you can see it. Look where this thing stopped at, right at 100%. So it came down on the extension. It came down on the extension and it stopped right at the 100% level. Right at the 100% level. Remember that 100% level. This is very interesting. And first, if you see the video we did earlier today, I talked about all of the divergences. Look at this 50% retracement. Look at the Fibonacci extension levels. Look at this market maybe get ready to bottom right here and go on a little relief rally or maybe just a tradable rally. Look at the Standard & Poor's 500 index. Okay, I'm going to expand this so we can see it better. Same thing, I drew it from the high. I drew it from the high. Okay, the high is high. Came down to the lowest low at that point and then back up to the highest high. Okay, the most recent highest high. And then let the Fibonacci extend itself out. This is the Standard & Poor's 500, y'all. Look where we got to. Right around the 100% level. We're consolidating right around the 100%. Okay, so the Fibonacci retracement, okay, everything is stopping right on the extension. Everything is stopping right at the 100% level. On the Fibonacci retracement on the weekly chart, when we look at the Standard & Poor's 500, remember we got to the 38.2 level here. On the Dow Jones, we stopped in between the 23 and the 60, 2360 and the 38. I'm sorry. But on the Standard & Poor's 500, we made it right to the 38.2% and almost to the penny. Look at it. It's almost to the penny. But that on the daily chart for the Standard & Poor's, that's right at the 100% level. Everything is stopping on the extension or consolidating right around the extension at the 100% level. Okay, on the extension on the daily chart. Now, here's the Nasdaq. The same extension on the daily chart. I'm telling you, this is very interesting, y'all. Okay, everything is lining up to get a bounce in this market right now. Let's expand this. This is the Fibonacci extension weekly chart. Fibonacci extensions on the weekly chart right here. Okay, I'm just going to expand it so you can see it. Same thing. I went from the March 2020 lows to the highest high. Okay, and look what happened here. It retraced right to the 50% level. We talked about that a few earlier. This was the first chart we looked at, right? Or the second chart we looked at. But look right here. You see, we stopped right at the 50% retracement on the Nasdaq. The 50% retracement rule that can make you rich. Okay, stop right there. Stocks like to bounce when they get to that 50% retracement level. If it breaks that and it gets down into the golden pocket, normally between the 61.8 and the 76.4, normally we'll start getting a bounce somewhere in there. A lot of times, that's why we call this the golden pocket. Stocks don't really come out. Stocks don't really break through there too often. It'll bounce there. But this is the 50% retracement area that Most stocks like to bounce at most of the time. Now, that's the weekly chart. Remember, this is a weekly chart of the Fibonacci retracement. Now let's go down to a daily chart of the Nasdaq with the Fibonacci extension. So I'm using the Fibonacci retracement on the weekly and the Fibonacci extension on the daily. Look at this again, y'all. It's stopping, consolidating, bouncing. Doesn't seem to want to break the 100% level. Everything is stopping at the 100% level. On the weekly chart, the Fibonacci retracements, on the Dow, we stopping somewhere around the 23. On the Nasdaq, on the Standard & Poor's, we got down to like the 38. And on the Nasdaq, we made it to the 50% retracement rule that can make you rich. But everything is stopping at the 100% level on the daily chart of the Fibonacci extension. Take a look at the other videos, go back and review it. Divergences all over the place. Divergences all over the place, y'all. And now the Fibonacci retracements, the Fibonacci extensions on the daily chart, they are all starting to line up. Okay, look at the divergences in the other video. I showed y'all the divergences with the volume. The volume is showing divergences. The relative strength lines is showing divergences. Accumulation distribution lines showing divergences. The advanced decline line showing divergences. And now look, the Fibonacci retracement levels are stopping on the weekly chart right at the 38, in between the 23 and the 38, right at the 50% retracement rule that can make you rich. But then on the daily chart of the major indexes, we're stopping right at the 100% level. Right at the 100% level on the Dow Jones, the Standard & Poor's, and the Nasdaq. Okay? So we're going to stop this here because I want to be able to load it up. I want to be able to, I don't want this to be too long. And I got more information to give you on different breadth indicators and very interesting things that's happening in the market right now. The market is looking like it wants to bottom. It's looking like it wants to bottom. Okay. This is not a coincidence. Okay. And remember, these algorithms, most trading is done by algorithms. The computers see these things. Okay. The Dow Jones, once again, the Dow Jones 50% retracement. Okay, the Fibonacci retracement levels. The Dow Jones stopped right between the 23 and the 38. Okay, on the Standard & Poor's weekly Fibonacci retracement levels, we got down to the 38.2, almost to the penny. Look at it right here, almost to the penny. And on the Nasdaq, okay, weekly. On the Nasdaq weekly Fibonacci extension levels, we got down to the 50% retracement rule that can make you rich. But on the daily charts, where we got the Fib extensions, everything is stopping. All of the indexes, the Dow Jones, the Standard & Poor's, and the Nasdaq, all of them are stopping right at the 100% level or consolidating right at the 100% level. Look at the Dow Jones right here, almost to the penny. The Standard & Poor's consolidated around the 100% level. The Nasdaq is almost to the penny. Okay, we're going to stop this here. We're going to do a part 3 to this. Okay, I got some other things I want to show you. This market looks like it's ready to bottom. It looks like it's starting to try to bottom. Okay, until next time.